Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Rachel Williams begins now.
Good evening, everyone. A man has lost everything after his home in the state's northwest went up in flames. Firefighters had to keep their distance as the intense blaze took hold. The cause remains a mystery.
On a rural road south of Ulverston, an ominous orange glow cuts through the morning sky. The home on Top Gawler Road was made of timber and corrugated iron, ingredients which only fuelled the flames. The homeowner wasn't there at the time. A neighbour says he was on a camping trip. He's tragically been left with a huge damage bill, estimated at $350,000. The fire broke out just after 5 o'clock this morning, completely destroying the property. The Tasmania Fire Service says it took crews half an hour to contain the blaze. Crews were also called to a house fire in Wise Court in Devonport. Luckily, damage was limited to the front of the house, their swift response preventing a second tragic tale on the coast. Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmania News.
This week was one of the most chaotic in state parliament all year, descending into chaos as politicians slung insults across the chamber. The balance of power, once proudly held by Speaker Sue Hickey, was ripped out of her hands. We sat down with the rogue Liberal to discuss how she's feeling as Parliament winds up for another year.
A rare look inside the office of Rebel Speaker Sue Hickey. But after this week, it's an office left slightly less powerful.
I am very annoyed. I think to rush through important legislation like these controversial pieces in the last week is not in the best interests of the Parliament.
Independent MP Madeleine Ogilvie finally revealing her political strategy, using her deciding vote to side with the Liberals on anti-protest and mandatory sentencing laws. For 18 months, the Speaker held the balance of power, now ripped away.
I wouldn't say I've lost my power, but certainly Madeleine has gained power, so she is in a unique position. But as I said, that will come with all the onerous responsibilities. I cast my vote with the ayes.
This year, she caused chaos for the government, but admitted the pressure of holding the casting vote can be a burden.
I felt quite sick having to make the decisions because I knew what it would look like publicly, but I knew what I was doing was the right thing.
Her speakership, forcing her silence in rowdy question times, left frustrated as she tried to control the chamber.
Do you have any idea what it is to be in this job, having to discipline adults for being screechy, squawky, saying stupid comments?
I know things can be done faster. I have no idea why there's been so many delays. It's quite frankly inexcusable.
You have a point of order. I've got a point of order too. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Criticisms not just aimed at her own party, also feeling Labor could perform better.
I don't think they've been as tough as they could be. I also don't think they look quite as cohesive as they should be.
Disappointed, both parties have left her waiting for solutions on her policy priority, housing, saying she's often left horrified when she tours properties.
There's an awful lot of broken doors, toilets that don't work, a lot of rooms that need painting. There's some pretty bad conditions, and that's what I'd like to see, personally, a focus put on.
Promising not to be silenced on the issue. But as an eventful year comes to an end, rumours are already circulating about whether she'll be welcomed back to the Liberals at the next election. She said she's not worried.
People comment in the media and say that the Liberals will never pre-select you, and that may be the case, and if it is, so be it, but it'll be their loss.
Michelle Wisby, 7 Tasmania News.
Thoughtless drivers who refuse to slow down when they pass emergency scenes will be slapped with fines as of today. The state government says it's been forced to legislate for common sense, but those in uniform are backing the laws.
Firefighters expect danger when they hit the road, but there's one threat they're fed up with.
I don't know why, but people will put their accelerator down and they go faster.
The state government says it's clamping down on those who speed past all emergency vehicles when the lights and sirens are going. New laws are enforced today to protect personnel and volunteers during roadside incidents.
You need to slow down, take care and make sure that you're not doing more than 40 kilometres an hour when you go round that emergency situation.
Penalties are also being revised.
There are penalties in place. There's financial fines, and we're actually revising those at the moment as well, but there'll be significant fines.
It does frighten you at times, and I mean, you're getting gear off your vehicle and you've got it parked on the side of the road. As I said, you're not looking for speeding cars. It's something that people have got to be aware of.
The government has a target to reduce serious injuries and deaths on the roads to less than 200 by 2026.
But so far this year we've had 28 fatalities and over 200 serious injuries. If people abide by the rules, those numbers will come down.
Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
The state government is facing pressure to say when operational budgets will be given to Tasmania's hospitals and health services. Labor says the budgets should have been handed down 5 months ago.
At a time when the government are expecting them to find budget savings and they're being instructed to make cuts, they don't know what they've got to cut from.
With the recent announcement by the Commonwealth of further $15 million for elective surgery and other procedures, those hospital budgets are being revised and finalised right now.
The government insists it'll be released in the near future. Warning signs could soon come down from Blackens Bay Beach after water testing returned good results. Swimmers were left high and dry at the popular beach last summer following a faecal contamination scare. While the beach was later reopened, warnings have been in place for the southern end.
We set records for all the wrong reasons here at Blackens Bay Beach last summer. The good news is, though, that over the past 12 months, we feel like we've got right on top of it. We've made a number of fixes.
Since June, the beach failed only one quality test. Hundreds of riders have braved chilly conditions to take part in this year's Sally's Ride. 2019's edition ran in support of suicide prevention charity Speak Up, Stay Chatty. Sally Fletcher founded the event 17 years ago after riding solo around the state to raise money for mental health.
The numbers are great. It's just overwhelming, really. Makes me feel very humble.
Riders cover distances of between 45 to 160 kilometres through a wet Tamar Valley. As we mark the start of summer, authorities are urging Tasmanians to adhere to warnings and stay safe out in the water. Surf lifesavers and police will be out patrolling over the coming months in a bid to avoid drowning tragedies.
Racing into the waves with the first splashes of summer felt by these future lifesavers.
The more of us that we have, the safer the beach is.
Under the watchful eye of those fully trained, with patrols for the summer beach season commencing this weekend all across the state.
And it's just raising awareness, making sure everybody's safe and that they know where they should swim, why they should swim there, and knowing their own capabilities.
The latest Royal Lifesaving Australia report reveals 123 drowning deaths occurred nationwide last summer, this peak in the warmer months, spurring local patrollers to remind us what to do if we find ourselves in trouble.
Stick your hand in the air and wave for help and someone will be out straight away.
Tasmania Police will also be keeping a lookout this summer for those on the water as well, with boaties urged to stay vigilant and safe during the high incident period.
We'll be out there patrolling as we normally do, and we'll be tackling bad behaviour, and basically we'll be just ensuring that everybody in general is having a good time and doing everything properly. We don't want anybody getting into a situation where they're going to drown or end up in the water, basically.
And to be aware of weather conditions, working safety equipment on board and the risks.
Poor operation of a vessel, sinking vessels, damaging vessels, collisions, and people that end up in the water without life jackets on and end up drowning.
Ruby Kamain, 7 Tasmania News.
The Hobart City Council will vote tomorrow on whether to continue funding for a school program run by North Melbourne. A council committee is recommending funding be cut for the Next Generation in Schools program, where players and coaches run clinics and speak to students. The council had provided $150,000 to the football program over the past 3 years. There's still hope a veterans retreat in the Central Highlands could become a reality, despite uncertainty over who will lead the project. A former Parks and Wildlife shack at Dago Point was put forward as a getaway for Defence veterans and their families. But the proposal was placed in limbo after the RSL backed out of the plan. The government is now offering $100,000 to any not-for-profit which can take over the development. Grey clouds didn't stop more than 100 students from racing their hand-built vehicles and vessels today, powered only by the sun. The finals for the annual Morel Solar Challenge held in Hobart for the first time in 7 years.
Even though it's been overcast, the speed of the cars and the boats has been amazing. So it just goes to show the talent of these students that we have around Australia that are actually using the sun's energy to race at this event. So it's great.
The competition attracts interstate and international participants.
Last night, the Hobart Hurricanes won their WBBL clash against the Perth Scorchers by 6 wickets. 58 runs from Erin Vizakali saw the Canes easily reach their target of 107 with 26 balls to spare. The two sides are currently playing again as we go to air. The Scorchers finished with 4 for 167 from their 20 overs. The Canes are currently 1 for 10.
Good evening. 18 was the state's warmest in Hobart today. Launceston, Burnie and Devonport all reaching a high of 15. Other centres today, 17 across Ouse and Grove, Low Head and Strawn 14 and Smithton 15. On the close-up, low-level cloud and showers about most of the state. Further out, a cold front with mid to high level cloud is over Tasmania and the mainland, while a high pressure system is directing low cloud over the southern coasts of WA and South Australia. Tomorrow, another cold front is crossing the state while a high pressure ridge pushes further into the Bight. Northwest to westerly winds tomorrow 20 to 30 knots, swells up to 3 metres in the west and south and up to 1 metre in the north. A gale warning is current for north-eastern coastal waters from Cape Portland to St Helens Point for west to southwesterly winds. A gale warning for lower eastern coastal waters from Wineglass Bay to Tasman Island for southwesterly winds. A strong wind warning for all remaining coastal waters and also for Frederick, Henry, Norfolk Bays, Storm Bay and the Channel, and a strong wind warning for the Central Plateau lakes. A warning to sheep graziers is current for Northwest Midlands, East Coast, Upper Derwent Valley, Southeast forecast districts and the Bass Strait Islands, and a bushwalkers weather alert for the Central Plateau and Western forecast districts for snow below 800 metres. Tomorrow's forecast now, showers across Dover and Ouse, 15 in Hobart. In the north, possible showers across Launceston and Scottsdale, Devonport, 14. 12 in Burnie and Strawn tomorrow, Stanley, 13. Possible showers about St Helens and Swansea, Ross, 14. The UV forecast, mostly very high 8s across the state. Looking ahead to the 3-day forecast, Tuesday showers more frequent about the west, south and central areas. Wednesday showers about the west, south and central areas. And Thursday showers in the west, south and central areas. Capital cities looking sunny at Perth tomorrow, a shower or two at Adelaide and Brisbane, 34. And looking at current temperatures, Hobart 16 and cloudy and Launceston and Devonport both 13 and cloudy. And Rach, it is the first day of summer today. Hopefully we start to see a bit of heat soon.
That's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Good night.